Hey guys, episode 42 of the stock portfolio series. A couple of thousand up this week, and I've added 5,000 for some crypto sales earlier in the week. Just sold a little again this weekend, so there's going to be some fairly big additions going in the next week. But yeah, this week seen a reasonable move in the gold funds. There's no Trading212 link available at the moment, so I'll put it down in the description, but I think it's still on the watch list, so not sure if there's too much point in using it. But yes, the gold and silver funds doing pretty well. I did buy into Polymetal and Centamin last week, and these two funds hold a small amount of those, but the gold and silver stocks in general just seem to be doing a little better. So yeah, nice gain on these two. That's provided most of the gain for the week. A lot of the other sort of stocks elsewhere have been taking a hit. The ARCPI is slightly up, not a lot of change there. Alibaba seen a nice rise this week. Basically the news is they're getting fined. I think it was $2.8 billion. It doesn't seem to be too much else happening, so the market's taken that as pretty good news. Because they've got a lot of cash. It's sort of a tiny amount of their cash. They can afford to pay this fine. So yeah, quite happy with them going forward. Seen a huge drop in Argo blockchain. So over the last week, 27%. Haven't seen this move in Bitcoin. It's practically at sort of all-time highs. So wonder if this was just sort of a bit of exuberance in the Argo price sort of in the last few months. Obviously went very, very high very quickly. And people sort of taking profit. I think some of the big investors are taking profit. So I've taken the opportunity this week to go fairly heavily into this. I've sold out of BT and Volkswagen stakes in the ISA. Not properly selling out of those. I'm just going to rebuy them with some of the crypto sales in the invest account next week. Don't expect either of those two to move anywhere. So I'll just buy those back. And yeah, so the percentage will sort of say 0% again now. But obviously fairly well up on those two. And so that was about 3,000. And I put all of that into Argo. Some of it sort of around the 195, I think it was. And then some at 165 just yesterday. So kind of expecting this to sort of pop soon if they get listed on the Nasdaq, or there's an announcement of their expansion. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. And I need to buy back my stock in the invest account for BT and Volkswagen. Obviously, the Bitcoin ETP is just Bitcoin, so it's doing quite well. 4% on the week. Did go higher during the week, but it's retraced a little. So not too bad on that. Sentiment, as I say, starting to gold and silver miners starting to go green again. Not too much else. First Majestic not doing quite so well. Very up and down. Not too much moves elsewhere. The little penny stock that I bought before is still down. I didn't bother putting any into that. I got the Sylvania Platinum dividend. Just moving forward to that. It's not really moved a lot this week, but I got the dividend as the special dividend, which was £196. So that's gone into Argo blockchain as well. I was kind of thinking put it in that little Nova site penny stock, but yeah, didn't bother in the end. So that went into Argo blockchain as well. Polymetal starting to recover reasonably well. So bought into this in the ISA at, what was it? Yeah, sort of 1430s. So it's now 1560. Pretty good. The REIT's doing well. Rio Tinto, 6.7% in the last week. Thought this was sort of fairly undervalued. So doing pretty well. Most of that's in the invest account, obviously. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the ISA. So Volkswagen gone. That'll be back shortly in the invest account. So just having a look at the invest account. So I've added 5,000 and it's gone up slightly. Value's gone up slightly. Over the last week, it's gained about £500, and then I added that 5,000. So not a huge amount of moves in most of the sort of dividend stocks. I added 1,000. Actually, I sold out of Merck, one of the healthcare companies, and put that into Bristol Myers. I sort of put 1,000 into Bristol Myers and 1,000 into Merck originally, and just sort of kind of feel a bit more bullish on Bristol Myers, so just got rid of Merck and put it into this. So fairly happy with that. Not huge moves in most of these. The ETFs seem sort of very, very flat at the moment. Put 1,000 into Lennar. It is a high. I got to admit, I was buying this at sort of much lower prices before, but they seem to be sort of the earnings expectations are going up and up, and they still seem good value. So put 1,000 into that. Put another 1,000 into Nintendo. Still sort of bobbling around the same prices, but seem pretty good value. And I think the Switch Pro announcement is probably just around the corner. There's sort of all sorts of rumours going round, so that'd be pretty good. Porsche, obviously Volkswagen and Porsche, just continues to tick up, 3.65% in the last week, so that's pretty good. Process, kind of thinking I'll add to this, 1.86% up in the last week, but 10 cents sort of recovered, and I'm interested to see what they'll do with the cash that they sold part of their 10 cent stake. So they got $14 billion to spend. They might do buybacks, or they might just buy something, and I think that'll be good for the share price. Rio Tinto, I put 1,000 into this earlier in the week. About sort of £56, and it's gone up to £60 in the last week. So it was quite a nicely timed buy, and it takes it to 4,000 now, and another 300 quid in the ISA. So pretty happy with that position now. Not sure I'll add too much shortly. And to go hand in hand with Volkswagen, we now have Stellantis. So bought into this earlier in the week in the sort of high 17s. Hasn't moved hugely, but this is the car sort of merger between Fiat Chrysler and Peugeot PSA, Peugeot Citroën and Vauxhall. So it's a huge, great big sort of super group of car companies now, and sort of 50 billion market cap. I just think similar to VW Group. It's a very large group of pooled knowledge and cash generating businesses, hopefully to progress towards more EVs. They're already selling, I think, 115,000 EVs last year, and they're hoping to up that significantly this year. So yeah, seem fairly bullish on them. May add some more if of making some new buys this coming week. Probably similarly with TSMC. I know they're sort of incredibly high market cap compared to even the competition, sort of Intel and people like that, but just seems so dominant. Obviously, I've got my sort of average price slightly higher than when it is now. Did go up before, but tech sell-off has sort of hit it, and yeah, it seems a reasonable price, not a great price, but probably just slowly keep averaging into that. If it comes down, I'll add more. I want it to be a reasonably big position. Put a little bit into Turtle Beach, so they're almost a penny stock really, sort of under 500 million, I think under 400 million now. Sort of gaming headset company. Yeah, seem to have fairly sort of decent balance sheet and decent earnings. It's come down in the last week, so might add a little bit more to this. They're doing share repurchases and they own sort of a couple of other companies, so yeah, seemed like a nice little stock. And Viatris was another buy this week. So they're sort of mainly a generic drug pharmaceutical company in America. They're very, very undervalued from looking at their financials. Obviously, sort of unloved is sort of the generic companies. They're not really liked by the industry. But yeah, so put a little bit into them. I know it's a lot of holdings. I know people sort of make the comment, but with the portfolio sort of growing and growing, I really wouldn't feel comfortable, especially with the market as it is now, just sort of having 10 stocks, say, with, 15,000 each, sort of over the multiple portfolios. Quite like the diversification, sort of global diversification as well, and industry, and having the ETFs as well. So yeah, I know it's a lot of holdings, but I'll probably carry on in this vein really. So yeah, that's the portfolio for the week. Drop a comment if you want to ask any questions, or comment on how things are going, and yeah, give us a like and subscribe if you want to see more. See you soon.